Yo, what up? Welcome to Thirst Tech. Today we're talking about the most slept on Metroidvania 2021, Unsighted. Alright, so combat is fast-paced, similar to something like Wizard of Legends or Dark Souls, right? So stamina is extremely important. Pixelpunk has given us a ton of ways to mechanically excel at this game, right? So if you double tap sprint, so Y or shift on PC, you will restore your stamina. You can do this after an attack, after a parry, anything like that. As long as you're not moving, you double tap Y, and after a short animation, your stamina will be completely recovered, and the difference is insane. You can also act out of this animation, so if you attack, then parry, then stamina burst, you can then parry quickly after that again. So you're not really putting yourself at too much of a disadvantage. It's very good if you're using something like the axe, which uses, 2/3 of your stamina bar in one swing. It's also good if you're not using the runner chip, so if you're trying to stay mobile, keep your movement speed up, you're draining your stamina. So one of the important things though is that running out of stamina disables running, reduces your hop to a very short animation, very minimal iframes, can't attack, you can't parry, your movement speed slows down to a walk, just overall bad news, right? So it is really great for combat to be able to restore your stamina in a game like this. So that's the first tip that you can apply immediately. So this wouldn't be a Metroidvania game without wall jumps. So once you have the high jump boots, which increase your mobility and allow you to scale walls, you can also wall jump. What happens is if you approach a wall and you jump towards it, there's your initial contact against the wall. And then there's a small window where if you point your stick away from the wall and jump again, you'll jump away from the wall, kicking off of the wall and getting a full trajectory. You can do this between two vertical surfaces as well, repeatedly for as long as you have stamina. So you can use that to get pretty high places and reach treasure that you wouldn't normally be able to reach initially, right? So you can also attack out of this jump like normal, and if you use that to your advantage, you can also scale even higher vertical heights, right? So if you connect with the wall after a jump, that initial kick happens. Then if you jump away, like you would doing a normal wall jump, and then immediately change directions and attack, you will attack towards the wall, and that will give you a little bit more height and allow you to scale even higher vertical surfaces that you weren't able to do before. You can use this to get to treasure early, you can use this to access areas early. It's really part of the core gameplay loop of sequence breaking that happens in this game, so very useful, and you can do that as soon as you get the high jump boots. The world is now your oyster. So once you have the spinner, you can actually skip across liquids. Like if you were just throwing a river rock across like water, and it is awesome. It blew my mind the first time I found that. I was like so excited. So you can do this by timing your spinner attack as you're hopping across the water. Look at the footage behind me. You'll see that it's pop, pop, pop right across the water, and you can do it as long as you time it properly. This is great because you can really kind of skip a lot of the tough puzzles in the aquarium once you have the spinner, if you know that you can actually just skip across the water as opposed to needing to hit switches or create ice blocks or anything like that. So you can use this to unlock the ice grenade launcher quickly and really just make really short work of the aquarium dungeon. It's really nice. So definitely check that out. And of course the spinner is just straight speed. So anything that allows you to be on a spinner means you can get things done faster, and time is money in this game, right? So speaking of ice grenade launchers, many weapons have additional properties that add utility and flexibility to your playthrough, right? So I think the earliest example that I found that really kind of changed how I was approaching using weapons was the grenade launcher. I found out on accident that it can actually destroy the cracked stone pillars you normally need the spinner to go through. So that really kind of made me think about how I could use these different weapons to progress through the game. The icy shuriken creates icy platforms across liquids, the fire blade burns away giant vines, and the shuriken can be set ablaze using the pyres scattered across the various areas to either set other things on fire or burn up the crazy vines in the caves, anything like that. So a lot of these weapons have these dual benefits that you can use in order to actually progress through the game, which is really cool. Tip number 5. So comboing is like the core mechanic of doing big damage in this game, and it's important to know how it works, right? So all attacks that hit the enemy build a combo meter. It has to be consecutive attacks without getting hit, and as you're hitting the enemies, it scales up all the way to 2 times damage. And that damage stacks with all other sources. So if you have a jump attack chip, stacks with that. Spin attack chip stacks with that. The counter stun from the dojo stacks with that. So keeping up that combo without getting hit is really a good way to just blow bosses up. Any attacks that hit will build up the meter a certain amount. So basic attacks increase it by a certain amount, jump attacks increase it by a certain amount, spin attacks increase it by a certain amount, and also range projectiles will increase it by a certain amount. So things that hit quickly or multiple times, like the shotgun or the rapid blaster, they both allow you to build up the combo meter from range very quickly. And stacking like the spin attack chips and the sword damage chips along with a stun state on a enemy will really just destroy the enemy if you have your combo meter built up. So very good, very important for blowing up some of these harder bosses, especially like on later new game cycles for sure. And finally, crafting. This is a bonus tip, and this is so crazy that you can do this in this game. So you can craft anything. Like you can craft all the weapons, you can craft a bunch of the chips, probably all the chips if you go through and experiment with all the different blueprint options you have on the crafting table. And you can completely turn the sequence of the game upside down, because as soon as you have all the materials, you can quite simply just craft everything. You can craft all of the key items except the high jump boots. So as soon as you have the high jump boots, you just go around collecting treasure and crafting everything, and it's awesome. So, I mean, and it's like very in depth with all the different things you can do, cogs, chips, weapons, anything. So key items, like you can even craft a spinner. I'm not supposed to even say that. So it deserves a video on its own. So we're going to go ahead and leave it at that. And maybe we'll do a deep dive on that as well. So yo, hopefully you learned a thing or two here to elevate your playthrough of this hidden gem, because like this game is great and I want everyone to try it. I want everyone to excel at it. So if you really enjoyed this and you found something helpful, subscribe, like, so you can get more indie game content. And until next time, y'all, thirst out. Peace.